It's called a promo,
Shut
kid,
your
and
mouth,
if you want to
John.
be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it, so go ahead.
You ready? No! I said, are you ready?
That was good. I'm glad you finally decided to pull that giant stick out of your butt and have some fun for once in your life.
You're uneducated marks! You sit there on your phones tweeting out your opinions like they're worth a damn. Let me explain something to you people. You don't know shit!
And I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better.
Let's go.
Is it rainy over there?
A little bit, yeah. I didn't actually get to look outside, but I was told not to take my dogs out, so I was like, okay, it's fine.
We got a Wrestlemania rain over here. It's like super windy and rainy over here on this side of the desert.
Would that be Wrestlemania or Rainomania?
Oh, okay. I see you. Now, oh man, I forgot it. I'll wear it on the Sunday side of this episode. I was gonna say, in honor of Ciampa having to shave his beard due to injury, due to cutting himself up, he had to shave his beard. I have one of those like neck sleeve beards. I meant to bring it, but I actually forgot it. Man, that's all right. We'll put it on the other half of the episode.
Acknowledge me.
It's kind of conducive, I guess.
You want to see what shirt I'm sporting? You can get this right down in the description below. Click the link to get some merch. This is the road to WrestleMania season, and this is what the road has led to, a WrestleMania episode.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this. It's been a long time coming, but before we even get into WrestleMania, I got a little, of course, what do we want to talk about? Because why wouldn't we, right? Why wouldn't we?
What do we want to talk about?
Why wouldn't we indeed?
First tweet I have for what do we want to talk about? Wait, hold on. Please tell me that they aren't actually considering just throwing Ray Phoenix into the LWO. And then I texted you this. You said, honestly, at this point, I feel like the Hispanics all asked for this because of the political climate. Interesting. I want to know, what do you mean by that specifically?
Because the current thing going on with like our president and how, I mean, obviously a lot of people have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Accusing Triple H of racism. I just feel like all of them are banding together to make sure they keep their jobs. So they're like, just put us together with each other and we'll keep it going. Which is sort of conducive to some other things that happen here later.
Yeah, I was about to say I have something kind of similar in note on that comes up later. So I guess we'll just table that for them. I was just interested. Here's another thing, and this was something we were going to have to talk about because the whole world's talking about it. Broke in today the news that WWE has announced they bought AAA. And also on June 7th, they present Worlds Collide, their first ever co-branded event.
So here's an interesting part, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. The first news that leaked was actually the Worlds Collide event.
Right. That came out first.
And I was like, okay, well that's what I was like. Why? You have TNA, you're working with Noah. Like, why would you not use these other companies who are honestly have a lot better talent and not doing as crappy things? But no, AAA. And then lo and behold, it's because they're just part of WWE now.
A lot of people are saying that the same thing you said or mentioned on you have partnerships with TNA and Noah, and that's what makes this so like out of the blue and crazy. And what was out of the blue and crazy, I tweeted about next. Vikingo on WWE television. Yeah. I saw him just casually standing there and was like, wait, what?
What?
Honestly, like as weird and I'm not gonna go into the details of like what this means for a lot of different people in the company already. Just some people up there looked a little upset. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But good on Vikingo.
Yeah.
Dude, like, got to be on a WrestleMania event, basically.
Yeah, and I wanted to subtly bring this up. Somebody had brought it up to me, just a friend, who knows that I'm a huge fan of Vikingo. I've said for a long time he's my favorite luchador. They assumed I was upset by this, and I was like, why would I be upset? Like, I'm seeing him. This is the most I've seen of Vikingo in a long time, and like, no matter where he's at, I'm always happy to see the guy. And we'll get into some more stuff on him later, but that was one thing I tweeted out in all caps. Just wow, Vikingo, WWE. I don't hate it.
It's not the worst thing in the world. I think like I know there's him and there's Elhio Wagner Jr. Who I've seen a little bit, and he's pretty good. Those are like the two names everyone's talking about that'll actually make splashes due to this deal.
I made a little joke about it. I don't know if you saw this tweet. I said, "This is what WWE bought. What's the big deal?"
Hey, I mean,
Triple A's.
Basically, yeah. What I understand, AAA right now is not so hot.
Hey, they look. Those are AAA golds right there. They look fine to me. All right, well, the next one. This is something that I tweeted like days before. I quote tweeted. It was whenever they had the WrestleMania set reveal. I said, whoever designed the one on WWE 2K24 should have been in charge. They cooked a way better set. And I think I specifically just mean the cards, the stack of cards they had in that set. Anyone who's played WWE 2K24 and has gotten that from the community creations knows they cooked.
I mean, yeah, but to be fair, once we actually see the stage, it was pretty good. I like the little the Trons, like mini Trons that were I don't know what they are. Are they supposed to be cards that hang? Yeah,
they're supposed to be hanging cards. So I can't hate on it. You're right. Once I saw the full set and really got to see the buildings up top, and one thing I don't even put in the notes that I feel like I should have, those announce desks are amazing. Those announce desks look really cool.
Those were clean as hell, yeah.
Yeah. Now, let's not even get into WrestleMania right away. I have something right here, a section called Anything Important from WrestleMania SmackDown, because there's like, 2, 3, maybe even 4 things that happen on SmackDown. We're like, all right, let's make sure we get in on that, especially the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which we were throwing predictions at on our predictions episode. And Ray Phoenix entered first, which I question momentarily if my prediction of Obafemi may be wrong, especially since we find out he wasn't even in the match, unfortunately. Let's see. Oh, here's some text. Guessing it's not Obafemi winning this thing. It's really going to be Phoenix, Andrade, or Cross. Dylan says, want Mello, Andrade, or Karrion? It's going to be Ray, though. A lot of people thought Karrion Cross was going to win it. And we had sent that at the same time.
He's got the hometown pop.
Hometown pop sounds like some really good soda that you get at your local. This is like your local, like what do you call them? Bodegas, pubs, whatever you have in your city or town. Back to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I almost called it the Andrade Memorial Battle Royal. That was really hard to fight. I hated that Carlito got eliminated first. That's what I hated the most.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. He took his apples, batted at him.
I noticed
threw it at him, huh?
I noticed midway through that this battle royal was 2/3 of their way of using all the tag teams that otherwise weren't getting used this weekend, and like 1/3, the other third was all the single stars that also should have been on WrestleMania that aren't.
Yeah, I did kind of notice that about, like you said, halfway through. I was like, okay, we got LWO, Legado, all right.
A lot of teams.
A lot of Hispanics, which, given the news, makes sense.
I don't know how we didn't see it coming.
Oh, you didn't know?
I randomly had this thought, as Phoenix was eliminating Escobar, that this is why we need to bring Money in the Bank back to WrestleMania, or at least like a huge multi-man intercontinental title ladder match.
Yeah.
And as Otis was eliminating the Creed brothers, I made a decree, a cooking suggestion, if you will. Next year, WrestleMania 42, hear me out, 8-woman intercontinental title ladder match. Thank you.
Ooh.
You're welcome. Thank you, and you're welcome.
Thank you.
Instead, it'll be shifted to the SmackDown before or after.
Stop. You know what? Table that one too. That's a whole table that one too. Gable gets jumped by the Luchas in this. We see Chad Gable get jumped by all the Luchas in this match. Let's see. Miz saves Mello. Knock that one out. Final four includes no Giants. I actually appreciate that. Nakamura, Carmelo, Phoenix, Andrade.
I was down for any of them at that point, even Shinsuke.
El Grande Americano, who I've been pushing for, interferes to eliminate Phoenix. And I only say that now because I want to bring it back up later when we get into Mania.
What do we want to talk
It's
about?
Fujitsu, yeah.
Comes down to Mello and Andrade, which, hey, we liked that. And we get callbacks from their best of 7 series that you wouldn't stop talking about at the time, I remember.
It was such a good series, dude. It's so trash that they did not end it right. But yes.
I love that I put it in the notes that you wouldn't stop talking about it when it happened, and then me doing so activated it.
It's like, yeah.
Mello don't miss. Mello wins it. I liked this.
Give me a hell yeah.
One of the better Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royals, though. And I want to give a reminder to the folks at home that at Saturday night's main event just months ago when I was there in San Antonio, I was watching Carmelo Hayes job out in the dark match. So this was definitely a well-deserved win in my book. I sent out a tweet, too. I said, Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is good again.
Give me a hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the least, I was hyped for it going in, and I was still hyped for it going out. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I hope they push Mello after this because he deserves it for sure.
Yeah, I hope this is the first Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner that we see get something conducive out of it.
I mean,
something really good.
Bronson got a push. Just,
things happen. Injuries.
Yeah.
Now, WWE Tag Team Championships. Let's show some more text exchange. I feel like the Friday notes, the SmackDown notes, this is most what you're going to see is our text. Said, any chance this tag team match gets ruined by all the other teams interfering and sets up a 4-way tag team ladder match Sunday at Mania? No, I don't think so.
I just want to point out the reason I said that wasn't because I didn't think they wouldn't set up another match. It was because I didn't think they would set it up for Mania.
Yeah, I said, okay, I tried. Good match, and this was a good match between Motor City Machine Guns and the Profits. Then DIY interfered.
How dare you?
I guess you were right. Damn. They make a triple threat TLC match for SmackDown after Mania.
What?
Well, yeah, and it's funny because they're actually billing it like they even have the title card or the logo, SmackDown. I think it's just SmackDown Mania or SmackDown WrestleMania or something. It's like so they're just trying to make the whole week afterwards a whole spectacle as well.
I'll say this much, and I don't hate that, but at the same time, I'll just say this much. Beforehand, I was like, you know what, this is okay because something's going to happen at WrestleMania that's going to make up for that and make this make sense. Also, one of my favorite tag team TLC matches, it was a Fatal 4-way TLC match, was on a SmackDown. It was like the first TLC match to be on TV. It's like one of my favorite ones. So there's cool things you can do with it, but now, knowing what I know now and what we're going to get into later, I might not feel the same way.
No, I don't think so.
Here's a tweet. I said I was close. Yeah, I was maybe close. Here's another one. I'm going to... actually, no, this is a TVMA episode. We get one a month. I use them like one every 3 months. I said WrestleMania is when I'm going to bust that out. So let's go ahead and say it. Why the fuck would you put War Raiders versus the New Day on Mania over a TLC match with a much better tag division and build? And then the Duke, the blessed Duke, said Big E returning is the only justifiable reason why that match is at Mania. And that's what I was thinking too. That's what a lot of us were thinking.
You guys had convinced me of that too after the predictions episode. I was like, okay.
Yeah. That's who's to say? Who's to say that's not why?
Well,
one other thing we got to get into before we get to WrestleMania is Randy Orton. And this isn't something we're going to talk about until Sunday, but Friday, we see Orton come out and cry about not having a WrestleMania match, reminding us that his daddy was at the first WrestleMania match, or the first WrestleMania event. He says this would be the 20th Mania match for him and that he's showing up WrestleMania Sunday, geared up and ready to go, lays out the open challenge in a very fiery and passionate way. And we talked about it on the predictions. Nick Aldis, Aleister Black was my final prediction, like one. But what you got?
Yeah, that Aleister Black. There's a teaser. They do another teaser. It seems like it's Aleister Black. No confirmation, but it's spooky. There's a lot of chanting. I think someone even said like you can hear the melody or the riff of his old song somewhere in it. And it says 4/25/25, which means that whatever this is leading to is coming next week.
Right.
Which, if it's Aleister Black, then I guess he's not showing up at WrestleMania. So I guess.
So that would leave it open to. Of course, Solo Sikoa has been in the build, but I feel like if you have an open challenge, you're not just going to go with the most predictable. Yeah. Nick Aldis is still someone really cool that we could do something with here.
Yes.
But if it's not Aleister Black, I don't want to say it's Nick Aldis, and I want to sit here right now for the next 15 seconds and really consider who could be the big surprise.
I think it's Rusev. I think Rusev's your. I know some people were saying Kaiser. I think at one point he had an open challenge and then it just got dropped. But again, that's another
And we need a big pop. We need a big pop like a Hardy's WrestleMania 33 pop.
Jeff Hardy. Book it.
Yeah. I did predict the Hardys would show up, but that's a whole other thing. Let's show one last tweet before we exit SmackDown and get into WrestleMania Saturday. I said, wait. Was the Las Vegas crowd booing Cody Rhodes? And did he absolutely turn it around anyways?
Yep, that's the power of Cody Rhodes.
That was impressive, Codathan. That was impressive.
Codathan, love it.
WrestleMania Saturday.
Are you ready?
I want to do it. World Heavyweight title match, and yes, it really did open the show. It really did open the show, as most had predicted. I sent out a tweet. I asked, do you think we'll ever see the World Heavyweight Championship main event of WrestleMania again? Context, the last time the World Heavyweight title main evented on its own, mind you, on its own, was WrestleMania 24, Edge versus Undertaker. Fun fact, kids.
Ding dong. Hello.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was the inverse of this. Oh, no, we're on 41. I don't know why I was time traveled to WrestleMania 42. I was like, wait a second.
Bro.
Whoa. So yeah, no. Still. I hope one day that happens. Somebody had responded and said it would. You got your finger up, so I'm like, what's it gonna say?
What do we want to talk about?
I don't think it will. And I say this because I think next year we run another WWE title match night 2. I think the women. I think by next year, the women will have something built where they get that main event slot.
God, I hope so. They've been missing on it for a lot of events.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, the way things go, I think they finally have some women that are really over. You just got to build some stories and, do it throughout the year, man.
And you got to finish those stories. I can never help myself. On this opening World Heavyweight title match, we'll get into it. Jey Uso's entrance was pretty fire. It was long, but fire.
Okay, can we?
So
I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. Random DJ come out. The whole show is sponsored by it, right? So we can't really go around it. Fatal Fury.
It's the big sponsor in the middle of the ring.
That's crazy. It's a fighting game. And it's not Street Fighter or Tekken or anything. But we have this DJ guy who has been pissing people off that are fans of that game by being in the game. And now he's here at WrestleMania. What the hell?
Yeah. I wouldn't have known anything about it otherwise.
Yeah, so, just sort of a little context in there.
You didn't spend too long on it, and neither did they. And that was lucky for the rest of us. Jey Uso comes down looking fire. Gunther, though, he walks down just meaning business. Like, that was... I wondered if he would have any sort of, like, special entrance or anything like that. No, just business.
I do miss the introduction from Ludwig, though.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Could you imagine, too, if, like, Alicia Taylor goes to do the Fire Championship introduction that she did, and she did that, but Ludwig snatches the mic and is like, excuse me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to finish the whole thing because we got to move on, but yeah.
The match starts slow-paced and fundamental. Did you expect that?
Yeah, I think I was hoping Jay was going to show us something different. I think that's what I wanted, and I guess in a way he did. Starting slow is probably like the first part of that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I expected Jey Uso to go bananas out the gate, but it takes a little while to get to that point. And when it does, Gunther tries to grab his belt and leave. I really thought he was going to try to leave, and it was all just a ruse, a distraction, and one that allows him to hit Jay with the belt.
That was pretty good, not going to lie.
It was all a ruse.
Fickle. They're fickle.
These guys unload on each other, and Jey Uso's response to the criticism that he only has 5 moves, I guess, was to start and add all of Gunther's moves to his arsenal. And that was his response to that criticism.
I mean, fair play, honestly.
Yeah.
I remember someone said I think it was the After Dark thing, he was a little inebriated, and he started going like, I don't know, guys, I don't know if I can do this. I got, 4, 5, 6 moves? I don't know. Well.
All right. Jey Uso splashes the hell out of Gunther 3 times, and then he puts Gunther in a sleeper and makes Gunther tap out. Yes, I said that correctly. Jey Uso makes Gunther tap out. How do you feel about that?
All right, listen. I get it. The finish itself is not... It makes sense story-wise. Obviously, Gunther did that to Jimmy. So, he didn't make him... Did Jimmy tap out? I think he just passed out.
He just passed out.
He put him in a chokehold, either way. He put him in a sleeper. So, that makes sense. That part makes sense. What didn't make sense is the fact that it took about 5 seconds into the sleeper hold for Gunther to just be like...
Yeah.
It's Gunther. He needs, even after taking all that punishment, he should still at least last like 30 full seconds in a sleeper hold. Come on.
Yeah, I think that would have been like any other argument to what you're saying that you already countered within yourself, was that he took all those splashes, not had the wind knocked out of him, didn't have any air left in him. There's like a science answer behind it. But even what you just said, like even with that, you feel like he would have lasted longer than he did. I didn't think about the first part of what you said, it kind of being a callback to how he took out Jimmy Uso and like he's going to repay him with that. So that made me kind of digest it better than I did. I was like all the way not for it. I was like, that's not how we should have ended this. Cool. I'm glad he won it. I'm glad Jimmy Uso came out to celebrate. It was all a good sentimental moment for the Usos.
Yeah, but I think... Granted, I was in the restroom for most of them.
Oh no! Not the opener.
Yeah, so I heard it. I timed it. That's the only way I knew. I was listening in because the restroom was just like right there, and I heard it, and I was like, did he just tap out to a sleeper in like 5 seconds?
Yeah.
What the hell?
This is TMI. Nobody asked this, but whenever I need to go to the bathroom during an event and like the match is going hard, can't step away, and I just got to go, I just switch it over onto my phone and go watch it on my phone in the bathroom on like picture-in-picture.
What? Looks like we've had enough.
Like that's my backup option. But anyway, so let's not get too much into that. Before we get off this match, I want to bring up something that I've been thinking on. Do you think that this could be Gunther's fate every year? Think about it. Triple H has one of the worst WrestleMania records of all time because he was always the big bad guy boss to beat at Mania. Is that Gunther's fate now, or do we see him start to win at WrestleMania at some point?
I would hope so. This is Gunther. Now that being said, I will always advocate for Gunther versus Dragunov at
Yes.
WrestleMania. And Dragunov to take the win at WrestleMania because
Yes.
I love Dragunov and they're soulmates. They're wrestling soulmates. But this guy is supposed to be dominant, and that's another reason why the whole tapping out thing was like so frowned upon.
Yeah.
You just made the list.
Give him something, man. Give him a win next year. I don't know against who. Make him
It's like,
be.
So,
I get it
Someone. I don't
because
know.
Triple H is in charge. Triple H is like probably proud of that fact that he's always been the big bad guy to beat at WrestleMania. But like, I want to see Gunther be that big dominant Gunther that he is.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
we'll
sir.
see. Let's get into a World Tag Team title match for a moment. First tweet, I said, "Whoa!" This came from the pre-show. Big E is not only returning, but him seeing Naomi's side of things makes me feel like Big E is returning to join Kofi and Xavier.
No.
Well,
I knew. I knew. I was like, nah, you're really stretching here, man.
Damn, maybe I was getting ahead of myself. Maybe not. Here's another tweet, and I said this probably, what was it, like 9 months ago, maybe even a year. I don't know. War Raiders should really have done Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders themed entrance or attire here. It's a missed opportunity, and I said it so long ago.
You did, and I see the reason why, and the reason why they didn't is so. It's another one of the things that we just don't like about WWE nowadays, and it was what was it, Clash of Clans? Is that the game?
Yes.
It was Clash of Clans inspired.
Yeah, and they have to do a whole like promotional attire with I get it, and I don't like it. I'll never like it. I'll never like it, damn it.
Like, I mean, not
The
to,
tantrum.
to bring it up again, but the whole Fatal Fury thing, Tanahashi did that in like what was it, a few weeks ago
Yeah.
in Japan, and that worked because it's fucking Tanahashi.
It's Tanahashi.
But like this,
Go
you
Ace.
know,
so
Go Ace.
yeah,
I had one of these cool Wrestle in the Middle stickers stuck to my hand.
it's fine.
I'm WrestleMania'd out. I can't talk. I was going to say Wrestling in the Middle Mania, which, hey, well, we get there one day.
Come on, let's go.
All right. Match gets pretty good early. I felt invested about midway through.
A little bit, yeah.
Continues as such, so I really didn't see the cheat finish coming when it happened. But yeah, Kofi and Xavier win the World Tag Team titles in a sketchy way, just quick cheat finish after like a decent tag match.
Yeah, I think it makes sense given the characters and everything. And I love how fast they got out of there afterwards. They were like, okay,
Yeah.
we're done. Bye.
My issues with it from a personal just bias and fan standpoint, I love the War Raiders. I don't want to see them go out like that. Second, too, that was that. No Big E. So my prediction, put one in the column if we're having a little counter of like predictions right, wrong. That one was wrong. So that sucked. And we could have had a TLC match. Like, we were all okay with the fact that we put this TLC match to the side with the better tag division going right now. It was like, yeah, Big E returning, that's a moment. We want our moment. Let's do it. We got slapped in the face with that one.
I wonder if the whole point of it was so the Raiders could wear that Clash of Clan gear. That was the only reason they had the match.
Then at least let them. You know what? Fine.
So stupid.
I'm bowing out of this one because I might let my personal War Raider bias come in, and this is supposed to be an unbiased show. And I feel like when we get into this next match, that'll show growth not only for wrestling but for this show and for being an unbiased and straightforward podcast. So Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Wasn't super feeling this match going in, but I'm glad we're talking about a Naomi singles match at WrestleMania. There was a time she was being cut from Mania right before going out to wrestle. So this was something we needed to celebrate.
Yes, sir.
Her gear was on point as well.
Yes, and that theme song?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I did not see that theme song coming. Where the heck did that come from?
I was with it. I was with all of it. All right, so Naomi gear entrance solid. What are your thoughts on the Weatherman intro for Jade Cargill?
Yo, Jim Cantore, let's go.
I wasn't feeling it myself. Like I did I maybe there's something I'm missing. I don't know that guy. I don't know the popularity of this meteorologist, but I was like,
I knew him, so I was really like, oh my god, it's Cantore, let's go. I mean, it was cheesy. It was,
yeah,
but like I was okay with it after Clash of Clans, War Raiders. I was like, okay, I get the vibes.
yeah. You know, I'll give you the that is fair. That's my first that is fair for the day.
Thank you.
Now, I'm not a huge fan of Jade matches, and I've gone on record to say that many times. It's no secret. But here's my but. From early on, I noticed this match was not only going well, but had an abundance of substance to it. Good build to it, so we had room for that. It stays that way too. I was surprisingly impressed. Both women looked good, and Naomi needed to look just as good as she did here. I was really impressed with this match.
I was too. I was like, okay, oh, this is pretty solid. I still feel like there was. I don't know if it's just because I know Naomi and I feel like there's a little bit. She could have done a little bit better, but I also have to remember Jade's not the best. She's getting better.
She's getting better. I was going to say she might not be, but even then, way further ahead than what she was the last time we saw her in the ring. I mean, do you remember Survivor Series? Whew, man. Okay, no. She has come a ways from that, and that's what I like to say about, growing and being unbiased is like we always recognize stuff like that. I always try to call it for what I see it and not criticize too harshly. I'm really excited at the prospect of Jade Cargill actually being what her potential has shown that she could be. We've all been like, that could be somebody big one day. But then we can see her get in the ring. We're like, what? Culture's changing. Jade gets the win to no surprise. We predicted it with the win.
No surprise, but I do still feel like I would have liked to have seen Naomi win just because, she deserves it,
Yeah. You take the moment for what you get. It's like, hey, at least she didn't get squashed either. I mean, they literally could have went full Goldberg with Jade, had her come out, put just jackhammer Naomi and go home. Hell no.
She did jackhammer.
I know. And shout out to Wade Barrett for really just putting in the effort to make sure that got corrected, because Michael Cole called it wrong. Wade Barrett subtly corrected it without making him look like an ass.
I feel like Wade does that very well.
Yes.
Corey does it in a condescending way. So it's not always fun. Sometimes it's fun, but sometimes it's like, okay, did you really have to do that, man?
And another thing, I didn't get to add this into my notes. I probably was going to add it on the end of Sunday, but just we're in the moment now. We're talking about it. I'm really, really not only happy about Wade Barrett getting to call his first WrestleMania, but proud of how well he's doing. He is doing a phenomenal job calling the WrestleMania so far.
Thank you.
And hey, here's something cool that I was doing. I hope this didn't get too noisy. Sometimes Zoom knocks the noise out if it's not me talking. Sometimes it doesn't. So sorry if it did, but I was taking the label off my water so I wouldn't show the label and putting one of our stickers on my water bottle instead. I was like, let's just put ours on.
I need to do that with some of my stuff.
Always promoting. Now, we don't have to spend too long on this one. We'll probably breeze through this since we've kind of been taking long on other matches. But that's because we knew going into this match, it was Jacob Fatu's match to win or nothing. The U.S. title, he didn't have this whole year of greatness just to lose real quick to LA Knight. Nah.
No,
yeah. Roles reversed.
And there was this match where I was like, okay, this is what we're going to pick up. Because LA Knight has proven like he can pull out a pretty good match. Jacob Fatu is a phenom. So I was like, okay, this is the one where we start to really pick up.
Yeah, especially when LA Knight pulls up in a Maserati, which is one of my favorite car manufacturers, probably like top 3, top 5 in there. I love Maseratis.
Yeah.
Nice. That was subtle. Nice. See, on what you were just touching up on, match was slower than I had thought, but it was pretty good. Like I always have to make sure I reiterate this because people always get confused. Slow does not mean bad. Just acknowledging pace.
Acknowledge me.
Both guys looked great. Deserved the spotlight. The BTF counter from the moonsault was amazing. And I was glad that wasn't the finish. We got to have the moment without ending the match too early. But that was we love a good WrestleMania moment.
That was crazy, man. I did not expect that. And at first I didn't catch it. I was like, did he just what happened? And then they called it out. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Within the I think like the 0.3 seconds before it happened, I saw it coming. I saw him kind of like leaning up forwards, and then Jacob Fatu was midair. I saw LA Knight's arms go up. I said he's gonna do it. Hey, that's a moment that you're gonna put on the highlight reel at the end of this WrestleMania.
Drink it in, man.
Yes. Yeah.
Fatu hits a couple moonsaults and picks up a U.S. title win. Had to know what was happening.
That crowd was hyped with it too. The crowd was a little tame in some of the other matches.
Mm-hmm.
That crowd was there for Jacob, man.
Yeah, even then, I would say it was still like 60-40 when they were doing the back and forth chants. The LA Knight chants were just a little louder, but those Jacob Fatu chants were enough to let us know, hey, this isn't a mistake. This is a good choice.
I'm excited to see where they go with it. Continue.
El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio. I mean Phoenix. Mysterio, I mean Phoenix. Correction.
We're really. I think it's funny. So during this match, obviously, or if you haven't, they actually show Vikingo in the crowd, right?
Yeah. Get into it in a second. Forehand, let's show the tweet exchange. I said, isn't Dragon Lee supposed to be like Rey Mysterio's protege or something? Yep. So I guess fuck him being the next man up. You said heel turn?
Heel turn. I mean, I don't know. It's just something about Rushi's family that just screams.
To my response, I said, their idea of a Hispanic heel turn is move him to Legado del Fantasma.
That's not cool. No.
But now they have a whole other...
That's their response to it.
Well, now they have a whole other. I don't know. Like, are they gonna make a new show? Are they gonna make? I don't know what's gonna happen with the AAA thing, but they have a whole other. I guess some other roster people to work with now. They could do something else than just Legato.
Mm-hmm. The entrance for Americano was A1, amazing.
I was getting. I hate to compare it to this because one's kind of offensive, one's not. Timeless Tony Storm.
I
was having Timeless Tony Storm vibes with the filter and but
I think that plays into the theatrics as well.
Yeah.
Phoenix's wasn't too bad either. And then what you were touching on, I was waiting to get to, we see another Vikingo cameo, and he gets to kick El Grande Americano in the head to start the match.
That was so good. I love that. Like, dude has been here for like a cup of coffee, and he's already getting in on the action.
Yeah, match is both fun and exciting. Solid, if I do say so myself. Both luchadors looked great. Common note I keep making during this is everybody having good matches and being shown off well, so that's always something good to know. Nothing looked better, though, than the inverted reverse 450. That was phenomenal.
Oh, dude. Yeah, this was a solid match, which, I mean, you had to figure, right?
Yeah. We'll never know, in case we run it back later on, maybe at that other show. That's later in life. But what was this match going to look like if it was Rey Mysterio instead of Phoenix? Because Phoenix is younger. It could do more stuff that Rey Mysterio just can't do anymore. I want to know what it would have looked like otherwise, but that inverted reverse 450, I don't know if that's the actual legit name of it. I don't think anybody actually knew, and I feel like that's the closest you could get to it because it was reversed, but it was also backwards. It was inverted. So
drink it in, man.
But also phenomenal amidst this match was the commentary. I talk a lot of shit about Pat McAfee for every reason that we do. You can go back in the catalog, you know every reason why, and it all spans from him just saying some pretty distasteful stuff during video game seasons. But regardless, they're all delivering on that commentary table.
Thank you.
You got to give credit where it's due.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, he wasn't doing his whole annoying shtick, interrupting important moments thing.
Mm-hmm. El Grande Americano puts the metal plate in his mask, and Ray Phoenix at one point kicks it and hurts his ankle, gets put in the ankle lock, but survives just to catch a headbutt and a flying headbutt to get pinned for the 3 count. El Grande Americano wins, and do you agree with this decision?
Here's the thing.
So,
on one hand, it's almost like, why would you have Ray Phoenix suddenly replace Ray only to lose? And if that's the case, was Ray originally going to lose too then? And then what's...
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see... I don't see much of a shelf... I didn't see much of a shelf life for the Americano gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I see some of the stuff they're doing in AAA, I think I know where they're going with it, and it's kind of terrible.
Yeah, I would feel the same way if I'm on that same wavelength to thinking what you're thinking. I don't like that. I thought it had a short shelf life, and that's why it should have been Master Mask. We were just going to take this to Mania, and I wondered too in that moment, like, okay, is it because of that they're keeping this? Is it because they wanted Rey Mysterio to be the one to, beat him, unmask him? I feel like if the match had stayed the original way it was supposed to with Mysterio, he would have won. I don't know how much that would have done otherwise, but I feel like Mysterio wasn't going to lose at Mania. It's for fucking Rey Mysterio. Sorry, guys. But for whatever reason, they said, we're gonna put Phoenix in as a replacement. We got to have a replacement. Dragon Lee doesn't live up to the standards he's supposed to. Hey, I'm not saying that. They said that. I'm paraphrasing them. But I don't agree with it, especially if you're going to show your new, brand new, awesome talent you got in off. Hey, by the way, you lost to El Grande Coffee. This fucking coffee
Also,
after the match. Well, what you got?
That Alicia Taylor accidentally said that he was still from the Gulf of America.
Yeah.
Like,
Nobody liked it.
Yeah,
Nobody liked it.
looks like we've had enough talk.
After the match, Vikingo hops in the ring to help Phoenix up. Nothing happens out of that other than, we just get to see Vikingo some more. And I don't hate it. It's just, I got to see Vikingo a bunch today, and I was happy about it.
I almost thought they were immediately going to turn him heel or something, and I was about to be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
They're fickle.
Thank God they didn't.
Thank God, and also thank the Lord in heaven above. It's tippy time. It's tippy time.
It's tippy time.
She pulls up in a custom Barbie box made by Mattel themselves.
Yep.
So we're going to help you out with this one. Charlotte pulls up in a Rolls Royce, I believe it was. I didn't get a full look at it.
Yes, it was Royce. They even say it on commentary.
I think I was kind of off in the distance doing some other stuff, but I had it in I had it in view off in my peripheral. That's what I was trying to think of. Random note here. I loved Charlotte's robe and gear. It reminded me of cotton candy.
What?
Yeah, it was pink versus pink.
Yeah.
I love that Tiffany had the 2 little other boxes beside her. And at one point, he's like, which one is she coming out of?
I was about to say, had them thrown off.
Oh, you didn't know?
But did she look
clear as day? But okay, I thought we were doing Dora the Explorer all of a sudden, but whatever.
But did she look like cotton candy? No, she didn't. Nonetheless, big fight feel for this match. They start out fighting, and I mean fighting. And out the gate, Tiffany shines.
It's tippy time.
I almost thought they were I thought they were shooting for a second. I was gonna be like, oh yeah, they really got ticked off at each other here.
Charlotte, of course, wrestles the way Charlotte does. Great. Sorry to say it, but even after that injury, her 80% is still better than most people's whole careers. It's just Charlotte.
Yeah, when pay-per-view Charlotte shows up, you get a good match.
And even then, we're not seeing the same pay-per-view Charlotte we did 5 years ago, but we're still seeing something great. And on that note, Tiffany really stays in this match toe for toe with Charlotte, and she honestly looked like she was starting to get winded really badly in the process, and she just kept hanging right along. I was starting to wonder myself, making that note, like, is she really winded, or is she working the shit out of me right now? She looked like she was tired, and she was still go, go, go.
It's Tiffy time.
Yeah, I
Here's
agree. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's where it gets interesting. Tiffany starts to target the bad knee, and so in return, Charlotte tries harming Tiffy's leg. She almost gets caught in the figure eight, but fights out. And likewise, Charlotte blocks Tiffy's prettiest moonsault. These ladies get into a gruesome, tiring bout that goes move for move, counter for counter so often. That's what I loved the most, was how many counter for counters there were.
I love that, and the fact that, like, the one move that I was afraid of Charlotte hitting, I think a lot of us were, was that backwards moonsault, right? That she loved to hit.
Drink it in, man.
They kept teasing it and teasing it and teasing it.
Buckle up, Teddy.
I love that subtle teasing throughout the, well, not even subtle, but just that link throughout the whole match. Like, Tiffany kept blocking it and blocking it and blocking it.
It's Tiffy time.
Yeah, and anytime we're talking about pay-per-view Charlotte, anytime she pulls up the pay-per-view, I'm like, are we going to see a moonsault? Are we going to see a corkscrew? When she pulls out that random corkscrew moonsault, we're like, okay. I didn't expect to see that here based off the bad knee injury that took her out for over a year. I was like, no, don't do it. Sit down.
Like, please don't hurt yourself. Please be careful.
I wanna do a callback from last season.
Yeah.
Just shut up and wrestle. Just shut up and wrestle. All right. Charlotte tells Tiffany Stratton that she will never replace her, to which they fight counter for counter more until Tiffany Stratton finally hits a prettiest moonsault, pins Charlotte. I couldn't believe it. Tiffany Stratton went over Charlotte clean in this match. Wow.
It feels like a real, that's why I say, like, the women are really starting to, the new generation's coming in. They're starting to hype everything up. It feels, with everything else going on, it almost feels like a last hoorah for the four horsewomen.
Now, let's leave Bailey alone out of this conversation for the moment.
Yes, that's why I said, I'm like, we'll cover that then, later on, but it feels like a last hoorah.
Yeah, if you're not off of something, you might be onto it. Now, with that, again, just huge wow moment, and I'll gladly, I think I will actually have a counter on this episode. Predictions right, predictions wrong. I'm gladly putting one in the wrong column. Didn't see it coming, but they did it. They let Tiffany Stratton go over, and I sent out a tweet. Tiffany Stratton is her. All caps. Her.
It's Tiffy time.
I do wonder, because normally what I like to do is I like to have a heel champion and a face champion. Tiffany, the crowd loves Tiffany.
It's Tiffy
The
time.
crowd hates Bianca right now, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I still don't understand it, but that's what's going on, We'll see later, but...
Yeah. And, I mean, if anybody was dedicated enough to watch our predictions episode, they'll know that you predicted a heel turn out of Bianca, and I thought you were actually onto something there. And getting into what we'll get into in the next match, you had a wild prediction I thought was never even possible that, hey, might even be a thing. And we'll get into that in a second. I want to pull up a random side thing. Another tweet here. WrestleMania's loaded with tweets. I was sending them out like hotcakes. Something about Io Sky flying around in a blimp just feels so wholesome.
Yes. I was like, can we just watch this for a couple more minutes?
Yeah. It's like, make that like one of those screensavers with some, nice, chill Dreamwave music. Just, this is nice, wholesome. So, all right, a little less wholesome. We get into the main event.
The main event.
Big triple threat. I was looking forward to it. We had to watch that damn video package, I think, 10 times before the match ever came to us, but we finally made it.
Gregorian chants and everything.
Seth comes out in a large black poofy robe thing and a flamethrower, and then after shooting fire everywhere, cuts the lights out and changes into bright white attire. It was pretty majestic.
Yeah, and I guess it's I think it was symbolism, what comes later, I think.
Roman comes out second, which I'm not used to happening much often,
Yeah.
but I got why in this moment, of course. And also, it felt weird seeing him come out on his own. Wade Barrett said he had celestial swagger. That's a pretty great one.
I feel like didn't catch that. That's great.
He said he had celestial swagger, and I said, Wade, that's a great one.
Yeah, but it was really weird seeing him like all alone, and yeah.
It was weird. Now, what was not weird and what was awesome and cool and great, the CM Punk intro was everything I wanted it to be, and I got to sing "This Fire Burns."
Give me a hell yeah!
Yes, I was popped. I popped when I heard the piano specifically because little side note, not the side notes. At my work, I have a playlist. I have a couple playlists that I play. And when one of the playlists, I have a piano chill cover of "This Fire Burns"
Oh,
that plays every night, and so I was like, "Oh, let's go!"
and I mean, we all wanted it, actual entrance theme wise, but we'll take what we can get, and they did it in length. So, on that note, we had a live music entrance, and it was on point.
Yes.
Great. We got Cult Personality played live, and everybody was enjoying it, having a great time.
Yeah, like it really seemed like they were all just like friends, and I don't know if CM Punk actually knows the guys, but he seemed like he did. Like he was just hanging out with everybody.
Yeah, over the years since CM Punk's been using that theme song, they've gotten to know each other pretty well, and it's been
That makes sense.
shown it. But into the actual match now, because it's gonna be a doozy when we start diving into this. So buckle up, Teddy.
Buckle up, Teddy.
Match starts. Feel great. As most triple threats go, it's hard to call the action, but what I can say is this match only had all the room in the world to deliver.
Yep.
Early on, Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns banter. Roman pretty much barking at Heyman. Rollins and Punk make eye contact, go one-on-one, taking the fight out into the crowd, and this gets fun. This is really fun. So fun, in fact, that eventually Roman joins the party, jumping over the barricade into the crowd.
That was so sick. Did not expect that.
The big dog was flying.
Acknowledge me.
They take this match into the ring, and it turns into a CM Punk showcase for a little bit, seeing him show off a variety of his signature moves. Punk and Roman fight for a bit. Punk gets Roman in the Anaconda Vice. Rollins frog splashes on Roman to break it up and then takes control for a moment. Intense moment comes when Roman hits a spear on Punk, tries to take out Rollins next, but we get my favorite spear counter of all time. When Rollins turns the spear into a pedigree, it's always my favorite thing to see.
It's funny. Yeah, you said that like it's always your favorite. Like he does it. He's done it quite a few times now, but it's like never gets old.
I remember the first time he did it, and that pop. Oh, I gave it the pop it deserved that first time.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
That's cool.
We get more hot action. Seth gets speared and Punk pedigrees Roman. Roman kicks out. Punk gets pedigreed and kicks out, rolls over to Paul Heyman. Seth goes to Roman and pep talks him into taking out Punk, saying that now that he's without Paul or Mox or the Bloodline, what is he going to do? Punk is the outsider. Roman has a complex, and then he leans into it, or so it seems.
And the fact that he dropped, like he said, Mox, not Dean, and I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
I heard him. He said Mox. I looked at Alyssa, who finally got up. She was asleep all day, and she woke up for the main event. He said Mox. So it seems like Roman leans into it, but he doesn't. He punches Rollins, powerbombs Punk himself, and then he powerbombs Rollins through the Spanish announce tables, which, again, those tables were beautiful. And the fact that they break even more beautifully is, wow.
Yeah, they look, I don't know if it's just because they're new, but they look harder.
Yeah, they kept selling that point, too. They were trying to sell that point. It's like, they're reinforced. They're supposed to be sturdier. How can they break already?
It was just funny because, like, I think they did that for the Netflix debut as well. Like, they were like, these are new reinforced tables. And, yeah.
You can't fool me. I know the table trick. You can't fool me. So let's not break the fourth wall too deep on that. Roman spears the shit out of Rollins, and Rollins kicks out somehow. And this is the first time in the match that I was shocked at a false finish kick out. Beforehand, I saw them all coming, but this was like, what? Mm-mm.
No.
Roman puts Punk in the guillotine in front of Heyman, but Punk survives and puts Reigns back in the Anaconda Vice. Then Rollins puts Punk in a sharpshooter, playing a little into the Immortal Moment match that Punk had just inducted. Rollins ends up in a guillotine and fights through it, counters through it. Punk stomps Rollins, hits him with a GTS, and Punk kicks out. We're like, what's happening? At that point, I was like, wow, what a match. I mean, I was captivated.
Yeah.
This was delivering.
Feeling it.
Punk hits Rollins with another GTS, and then Roman spears Punk, and then Rollins stomps Roman, and we're back to square one.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Paul Heyman goes and grabs a chair, hands it to Punk, and then he low blows Punk, which we could kind of see coming in that moment.
Yeah.
I felt it in my tummy.
He was still in pain, though. Like, you could see, like, you made me do this.
You made me. Acknowledges his tribal chief. Roman Reigns goes and beats Punk down with the chair, and Paul Heyman tells Roman Reigns to go and hit Seth, that the moment is right there. And then Paul Heyman looks down. He looks down a bunch, looks down, low blows Roman, hands the chair to Rollins, and you called it, man. I was surprised. I was surprised but not mad at it.
That's cool.
Yeah, there was just something about, I don't know, just something. It felt like they were setting it up too easy, and then the whole favorite thing. As stupid as the favorite thing was, it just felt like, okay, you got Punk and you got Reigns. Heyman has always been the guy to subvert expectations and go the other route. So it only made sense for him to be like, you know what, Rollins.
Yeah, from that standpoint, it does make sense. And that's why I'm not mad at it, because they made it make sense with that. When you pitched it, when anyone on the internet pitched it, it was just a crazy Looney Tune idea that was like, yeah, sure, it's WrestleMania, let's do something crazy. But they make it make sense, and that makes it make sense. Here's what doesn't make it make sense. If Paul Heyman really hates that song so much, how is he going to put up with it from now on? Riddle me that.
I don't know. Maybe he'll get him a new song.
I don't know. But again,
the personality.
I'm not mad at it. Regardless, I'm not mad at it. I want to see what this does with Seth. I want to see where we can take this. Seth puts the nail. Let's finish the match. I realized we didn't even finish the match. Seth puts the nail in the coffin on Roman again, and Paul Heyman watches in a very cool corner turnbuckle way. I used to sit in my kitchen that same way because I would pretend to be the Sandman. We're getting off track. He stomps Roman, gets the win. I was shocked, but I absolutely love this. This was like, to me, and maybe I'm not going to say dramatically that this was identical to it, but this was like Stone Cold joins Mr. McMahon level good turn. Like that shit you just did not expect. The possibility that, like, no, that wouldn't happen. Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins wouldn't actually team up.
See, what got me was I thought him going with Rollins was going to happen. When he turned on Punk is what got me.
Yeah.
Turned on Punk and gave it to Roman. That's when I was like, wait, what?
What?
That was the other way around.
Yeah, they add that just to make sure that you're not quite sure.
That's what I loved about it. I tweeted that same thing out that I had said, about it having that same WrestleMania 17 similarity. We see Roman and Seth close out WrestleMania, or we see Paul Heyman and Seth close out WrestleMania together in alliance. I accidentally had wrote Roman. One tweet I'd sent out, I said, bye-bye, Roman Reigns. See you at SummerSlam. It's probably the next time I'm going to see him. So, at the close of Saturday, I'm satisfied. I'm looking forward to the Sunday side of this episode now. I have some thoughts about why I like this WrestleMania so much, but I'm actually going to save them for the thoughts at the end of Sunday for the final thoughts portion of that. So, for now, I'm satisfied. I'm going home tonight happy about what's going on so far. You, sir.
What do we want to talk about?
I don't want to get too deep into like politics and everything. I wasn't really feeling much of the event. Now that I look back at it, the way you described it made me be like, okay, you know what? It actually wasn't that bad. There were a lot of cool moments for sure. I'm excited to see what Sunday brings.
You know what? Screw it. I'll go ahead and I'll give a little tidbit of why I like it. This WrestleMania randomly reminds me of one of my favorite WrestleManias, so that's WrestleMania 26. And when it did, I was like, why does it? So I thought about it, and it makes sense. What I love about WrestleMania 26 and what I love about WrestleMania 41 right now, and that's why I was waiting, because we've got to see how Sunday plays out, but for right now, it's subtle. It's like, okay, we've done a lot of over-the-top crazy shit, especially with how many celebrities. Everything today was so subtle, and whenever you look past and you take the politics out of it, you even take, like I do, I take the backstage shit out of it that I'm always looking at. Like, you know what? On paper, and like looking how everyone just delivered here, this was just subtly a good card. Everyone did great. Let's go home happy. And the main event was like, boom, delivery.
Ding dong. Hello.
Yeah, you know what? I'll agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
See how Sunday plays out, though. Sunday could make or break. One thing, before we close, one thing I'll note is last year, because I listened back to last year's WrestleMania episodes to kind of get an idea of what we could do this year to be different from our last year's selves. But one thing I noticed right now, WrestleMania 40, we're like, Saturday? No, this doesn't feel like WrestleMania. This sucks. And then Sunday came in, we're like, this is awesome. So I'm kind of skeptical now. I'm like, Saturday felt great this year. Hopefully Sunday isn't like a slap in the face to every positive note I just gave you.
Looks like we've had enough talk.
We will see.
All right, let's close this Saturday out and we'll jump to Sunday from this point.
Give me a hell yeah.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
It's going to go great.
It will. I said I'm not going to keep this on for very long because it's kind of restricting to talk in, but I said I would wear the Ciampa beard in honor of Ciampa having to shave his beard. Here it is. I got it on.
It's funny because I shaved my facial hair today, so I got nothing.
It would be okay. I can't do it. It would be extremely difficult to do the entirety of the WrestleMania Sunday episode with that on. I was already sweating.
No, it's fine. We could have. It could have gone well. We would have done it.
I bought this for 2 reasons. I bought this for exactly 2 reasons, and one of them you won't understand, but you personally you will understand. One, because I love Tommaso Ciampa, so that one's easy. Everyone would understand that.
Yeah.
But 2, because we live in the desert, and there's always dust storms here, and when the dust is blowing, this thing comes in clutch.
Yeah.
I should wear masks more often.
We just had a dust storm like 2 days ago. It was awful.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when I wear masks, my glasses get all fogged. Like, I can't wear masks and not fog up my glasses.
Oh, no. No.
Like,
No. So here's a couple things not in the notes at all or in any capacity that I got to bring up just for the sake of bringing it up. One, we're not doing this episode alone. Mike is scheduled to do the Sunday portion of this episode with us, but Mike is late. He's stuck in traffic trying to get home, and we're on time constraints. So we started the episode already. We're doing the second portion. Mike is just going to pop in. He doesn't know we've started yet, so it's kind of a first time we've done that.
I'm kind of hoping we could do like just do a mystery. You should have even told him who's supposed to be on the episode. Just be like, we have someone who's going to pop up. We don't know when he's going to pop up.
Man, we should have said
challenge.
You just joined too. We should have said nothing at all and just let it go. Just see what happens.
Oh, you didn't know?
Well, before he popped in, and hey, Mike, get settled in. We just started the official episode, but you're all good. We haven't actually got into anything yet.
Hey, it's almost like you said. Oh, wait.
What?
What did I say?
Like we were gonna start, and he was just gonna pop in.
Yeah.
Right? He was gonna pop in.
One thing I was going to say, I brought the original mug back, the makeshift Wrestling in the Middle mug before I got the actual merchandise went in. This is what I made, and I decided for the WrestleMania episode I wanted to bring it back.
Drink it in, man.
I wish I had a mug. I got a water bottle, and I should probably peel off the label, but I'm too lazy, so I'm just gonna be drinking like this.
Yeah, who can forget the first part of this episode too? I put the sticker on the water bottle, and this is just staying with me now.
Drink it in, man.
I've just been transferring water over into it. Nope, this is the water bottle I drink out of on the show now.
Hey, Mike.
Yo.
There he is. Well, not his face, but he's there.
Not yet.
Yeah, sorry. I was just gonna say, I was trying to get my lighting situated earlier, I think this lighting works okay. My glasses flare, but that's fine. My face is visible now.
Yeah, I was about to
Before,
say your camera angle improved from the Saturday to Sunday
yeah.
episode.
And I got a theme on my PS3 on this thing, and I got a theme on my PS3 that's light enough to where it's lighting up my face. It's perfect storm, everyone.
And also, I decided I'm trying out a new hairstyle here. I decided to go with the ponytail and the sides down. I was like, let's put the hair down a little bit still, but business in the back.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love it. Now, another thing, this is a little text exchange I wanted to show to open up the second portion of this episode. I texted you this morning. I said, wise man, what is Wrestlemania? Following it up with, it's the hardest weekend of the year, my tribal chief. It is.
Bro, I'm sorry, but our text game was on point today. Or at least
Yeah.
I feel like, especially when the show started, which I assume you at least have a few up.
I was going to say, just like yesterday, there's a couple of them that are in there that made it. There's tweets, there's texts. I've been slacking on both of them for a long time, but WrestleMania, I was active and social.
Yeah.
Again, we're waiting for Mike to get set up, so we're just like literally filibustering stuff. But another thing not in the notes that I want to throw in, that I'm going to bring up, Travis Scott is not the hardcore champion. What he has is a bullshit, pathetic excuse for a hardcore title. This is the actual hardcore title signed by the first man to hold it. So let's go ahead and get that thing.
It's like a corporate hardcore title.
It's bullshit.
But this bitch is getting on my nerves.
Disgusting.
And another thing, like the real Cactus Jack signed this, mind you. The actual Cactus Jack signed the hardcore title, not whatever the heck you got going on. I'm so conditioned to censor myself for these episodes now that I keep trying to censor myself, not realizing we decided to do this episode TVMA.
It's fine. I'm still gonna try because it's a good habit to get in them, But I will drop at least. I'm gonna go ahead and WrestleMania predictions. After the WrestleMania predictions, I'm gonna drop 3 F-bombs in this video.
That's fair. That's absolutely.
I'm gonna drop like 15 F-bombs.
Well, oh, man, he said we get one. Again, the whole contract is like we get one per month. I never do that because I'm a little stricter with it. I like the TV 14. I like it. It gives us a bigger audience range. Yeah. But it's funny. I bust it out like every 3 months. I feel like whenever it's episodes that like are longer and I have less time to edit, I'm like, let's do it. And I think the last one was Wrestle Kingdom. The last one we did was Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The big one. This year, I've just like come to accept the fact that nobody will ever truly understand what we go through on WrestleMania weekend and why it's called WrestleMania. It's like, and this is how I explain it to my friends who work in retail. It's like Black Friday to us. WrestleMania Sunday is like Black Friday. It's just nonstop chaos. Go, go, go. The lucky part about this episode is it's going to go a little bit faster because we have less to talk about, but that doesn't mean less substance or context. There's a lot of things that happened. Before we even get into it, there's one last time short. What do we want to talk about? Because there's a couple short things we didn't bring up in the first portion of this recording. I wanted to utilize the second portion for.
What do we want to talk about?
First and foremost, I'll always be reminisced that we did not get to see the legendary Mako Satomura have a WrestleMania moment. Mako Mania would have been amazing just one time in this life.
Oh, yeah.
I have absolutely nothing else to talk about on the What Do We Want to Talk About other than I'm sorry we didn't get to do Stand and Deliver this year, but as always, Stand and Deliver delivered. It stood and delivered as it always does.
It stood and delivered, yeah.
It's funny because there's a result from that we might actually bring up later during one of the matches. So
well, and what I was going to say, too, is that because of this reason, because Stand and Deliver delivers so much and we get to do so little of it, this summer, or maybe it might even get pushed to next Road to WrestleMania season, but who knows? We're going to do it through the table on the best of Stand and Deliver because it deserves a light of its own.
Yeah, it's fair, yeah.
Give me a hell yeah!
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one, yeah.
Now, going in to WrestleMania Sunday, our predictions, on our predictions counter, we have 5 correct, 4 wrong. Surprisingly, we're a little more wrong this year. And 1 in the column labeled, I was close enough. Let's see where we end up in the final. But by the end of this, I'm sure we'll probably only have 1 in the close enough still, but we'll see.
Yeah.
See, I don't even remember what our predictions were for this episode, for this second part.
It's just mostly just obvious, but it's just one that's just kind of like, oh, can't believe that just happened.
Yeah, there's a lot of obvious ones that I think we all agreed in. And Mike, you didn't get to be a part of our predictions episode. It was just me, Dylan, and Jeff, but we all have some common ones. So we have a counter for this episode. We're seeing how many we got right, wrong, and like I said, 5 right, 4 wrong. And going into the women's triple threat, I had a prediction that no one agreed with, but I kind of got people to agree with, and that was the whole story going this is that Io Sky is being overlooked, and she's not going to be overlooked anymore after she wins this. Now, I sent out a tweet. I was like, end of the show, one night with a triple threat. We're opening with the triple threat the next. I was surprised that we were opening with this match. Was anyone else surprised that this was the opener?
I'm kind of surprised because like I thought it was gonna be like the second to last, like of the night, because like I thought it was because like the attraction for like the 3 like with Io, Rhea, and Bianca and stuff, but I never thought they were gonna kick it off as the opener.
I think it was the only one you could kick it off with. Because normally you want a strong opening, right? These 3 women can deliver, like for sure. And even then, I remember there was like a couple reports that had the entire, like who was opening and who was closing each night anyways. So I'd already known from the get-go, like, yeah, these 3 are in fact, didn't they even say it on I feel like they said it on the kickoff show, yesterday's kickoff show, that these 3, I think Wade said it.
Might have not.
It might been like for the pre-show. I think like I don't think it was E who said it. Somebody else.
Yeah, I think someone said it that like they were kicking off night 2, and like I said, it made sense to me. It was a hype match. Get the blood pumping, get everyone going. Like you said, 3. And the way they sold it on the pre-show, that was that there were 2 like main attractions, and then Io was still trying to prove herself, which I found was interesting. Which kind of plays in, I think, to the results.
Okay, now going into what you said first, as far as like if this kind of had to be the opening match, I would have, without spoiling anything from the women's tag match, knowing what I know now and what we would have predicted, I feel like the women's tag match could have been an opener, but nonetheless, I saw this being second to last. And what surprised me more than any of that was that Io Sky, the champion, was walking in first, which always makes me feel a little bit shaky about a champion retaining.
It was interesting. I pointed out immediately, I was like, maybe that's because I paid too much attention to these things. New logo, new Tron.
Yeah.
Like, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty interesting and stuff. Because, like, I thought usually the champion will come out last. But kind of like, just kind of a little bit weird is having Io comes out first.
Well, and with Rhea Ripley, of course, getting the ovation that she got, which we'll get into in a second. But, like, that makes sense. And that always makes us think, okay, yeah, the obvious is that Rhea's retaining. But I didn't want to shake on my opinion. Going to Bianca's entrance, she makes a huge entrance with her stepdaughter coming out first. And I said, I didn't write this out in tweet form or anything, but I said, definitely turn a heel, bro. Definitely turn a heel.
I'm not gonna lie, man. It was like the crowd booing Bianca and stuff. It's just like, why in the hell? Because like it started like with the overseas and stuff, but it's just like, it's like the more I get into boos and stuff, like is this leading to like a heel turn? Like what's going on here?
That was on the predictions episode. Dylan had a prediction about it, and it kind of convinced the rest of us. Hey,
like I refuse no slander for Bianca. I swear. Like, come on now.
It just made sense. Like, go with the crowd, right? I know Bianca had been talking about it before, like she doesn't want a heel turn, but if she does, it has to be the right time, the right, right reason. I
Yeah.
think the crowd starting to turn on you is a pretty good reason.
They're fickle.
Now, Rhea makes a loud and ovacious entrance, and we all knew what was going down here at this moment. At least we, again, looking at predictability, we feel like, and my prediction felt less and less possible at this point. But the match starts immediately. Io refuses to be ignored. She blocks the hands going up in her face. A little storytelling there. And from then, the match, triple threat's hard as fuck. I mean, and what I mean by that is what I always say on this show is that it does what triple threats do. It gives us constant series of great back and forth between everybody. Triple threats hard as fuck, bro.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
I was really excited because night one, I wasn't too impressed with a lot of the action until probably like halfway through. This one started out hot from the beginning. Like I knew it would, but just that it have that reassurance, I was like, yeah, all right, we're in for a good night tonight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good night. All right. Now, one thing I noted Saturday that was good that continued on here was how everybody on the card looked good in their respective matches. This match carries that and like amplifies it because all three women shined in this completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really? They really did.
Io Sky almost gets rip-tided off the top, but gets out of it, goes for a moonsault, and Rhea gets the boots up to block, sending Io back into a KOD, and I loved that sequence. That was justified. This is awesome chance came from that point.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of her appeal is even like sometimes people don't understand her promos and sometimes you have to read subtitles and that kind of takes like some people out. But when she's in the ring, she wins the crowd over. That's just what she does. When you see Io wrestle, you can't help but cheer.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then we see Bianca start to get a little angry and yelling at Rhea, starting a one-on-one fight between them. And we get a spot where Io tried to poison Rana off the top and Rhea stopped it, levers her back up to hit the turnbuckle. Bianca hits Rhea with the braid and gets a KOD, goes to pin Rhea, but then Io hits the over the moonsault, pins Bianca, and I legitimately popped, yelled in my living room at the top of my
lungs. I was popping off when that happened. I was popping off when that happened. When Io hit that moonsault, I was like, oh yes.
Give me a hell yeah.
It was when she actually won. I was like, oh my god, they actually did it. Thank you.
I was like, please, y'all giving her they giving her a great push and stuff because Io deserves that.
Acknowledge me.
Absolutely. And now that we got that prediction right, thankfully we can add one into the correct column. The story was what I said it was, but let's assume now on whether or not we think Bianca is turning heel. She obviously didn't turn heel here, but I'd like to think it's going to stem out of this. And before I pass the mic over, I want to show text again from me and Dylan because I said I would bring this back up. I see Bianca turning heel, but I wanted to figure out if she's going to turn heel, why didn't we just run her, Naomi, Jade in that triple threat instead of just making this random one? And it was because this was the WrestleMania moment is Bianca turns heel, right? We didn't get that, so.
No. Not yet. So, because she's gonna have to deal with Naomi and Jade. So we're gonna have to see along down the road soon. So it's at a matter of time.
Drink it in, man.
I think I sent you a text that was like, one of the reasons why we had this was to tease Bianca versus Rhea single.
Yeah, that's in the screenshot.
That was originally what this was going to be. That's what we were hoping it was going to. That's what some people were hoping, not me. Love Io. But
Amen.
I think having a Rhea Bianca singles match for a title, or maybe not for a title, just a big show was something a lot of people were hoping for. And
hey, what does he have to do with this?
You have Rhea, who apparently, no matter how wrong she is, can't be booed.
What?
And Bianca, who the fans are starting to turn on. I mean,
John Cena was right, bro.
Yeah, Cena was right.
I'm gonna touch back on that later tonight when we get into this later. But Cena was right, bro. Here's something funny I want to bring up before we move on to for Mike is that we were constrained on time. We had to get moving, so we're like, let's let Mike jump in whenever. That we realized the EO Sky match was the opener. We're like, fuck, we don't want to start without him being able to have the EO Sky match and talk about it. We're like, let's just filibuster and see if he pops in right before it, and you did. You pulled up.
Yeah, I pulled I was so like, dog. I was subbing. I was like, y'all talking about my Joshi waifu? Like, what's going on?
Shout out to the first Joshi superstar to win at WrestleMania, right? Is that right?
Yep.
And the first Japanese
wrestler
to win in like 27 years, I believe was the number I saw.
These are facts that I did not know.
Yeah, and Shinsuke brought that up on Twitter.
What?
Like, I was like, yo, really?
You know what that calls for? Throw the confetti up. Throw the confetti up.
Throw the confetti. Throw the confetti out. Japanese wrestling is moving, skyrocketing.
We're gonna get into a Sin City street fight now.
Buckle up, Teddy.
Sin City.
Sponsored by Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yeah, that was the first note I had was just fully love the Scottish Terminator Doomslayer entrance for Drew McIntyre. Like, that's badass.
That was, I'm not gonna lie, that was really dope because, like, I love Doom, and the fact that Drew came out with the Doomslayer gear on, he could have rocked the helmet. It could have rocked the helmet and stuff in the shield. That would have been really super dope. But I like that. Hey, they had it laid it out.
But then, how about just the Slayer live entrance for Damian Priest?
It makes so much sense.
Yeah,
it makes so much sense on that.
That was borderline Undertaker level good. So sick.
Right.
Yeah, they've given this man next level presentation.
Drink it in, man.
Oh yeah.
I sent a tweet out. I said we need Damian Priest to lose in a casket match and come back a year later from the dead and full on be the new dead man.
Right.
That's how you have to do it. That's the ritual you go through to be the dead man.
Damian Priest was really rocking that Survivor Series '96 Taker. Where he brought the the wings.
That's why it felt that way. Now that you bring it up, I'm like, okay, that's why it felt so similar. Damn.
Yeah.
All back.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it doesn't take long for this fight to start, and once it starts, like, buckle up. It doesn't slow back down.
Oh yeah.
Buckle up, Teddy.
Now, the first spot I want to talk about, the stairs being thrown at Drew's head, and then the next would be Drew destroying Damian with the stairs over and over again before taking some selfies.
It was hilarious. He actually really tweeted that.
Yeah.
He won Grammy for, what was it, social
superstar of the year.
Yeah,
social media superstar or something?
Yeah.
Something like that. So it's like, yeah, this makes sense.
We get some other stuff, thrown chairs, claymores, a razor's edge through the table, a future shock in the steel steps. Some good stuff. Some quality street fight stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one spot, we'll talk about this for a second. Damian Priest goes for an old school, Mr. Undertaker. It cost him, though. Drew sends him flying through two tables on the outside.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two tables.
Okay, is he fine after he gets his head claymored into the corner into a steel chair and then gets pinned? He loses the match after that. I mean, that's... And we talked about it. Drew finally getting, a big win. Like, when does he get what he's owed? How do we feel about it?
I think it was
it was it was a right call. Like, even though both of them did have like a really great match, like you can't take away from Damian Priest's performance.
I think Priest will need a little bit more shifting to be done to put him somewhere. I don't know where they're going to put him. Drew, obviously, I think now you make him go for the world title. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know.
Don't know yet.
Don't know. It's also hard because, well, spoilers. So.
Yeah, we don't want to get into spoilers before the hand, but on that hand, I'm glad Drew got the win, but I'm sad because we're adding one to the wrong column. We predicted Damian Priest to win that match. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
now,
worthy sacrifice.
I'm going to break the fourth wall for a moment. This is something nobody's ever going to know unless I tell them. During this episode, just then, amidst that conversation, we almost completely went off the air. The episode almost completely just died. We would have had to pick back up. I saved it. That's why I dipped out for a moment. I saved it. We're still going. I'm like, yeah, I did that subtly.
Oh my God! Wow, that would have been
Saved it.
boy.
Intercontinental title match, and I was so eager for this match. My prediction and my hope for going in was that Dirty Dom, the new Latino Heat, was going to win it. And no matter who wins it, I'm all right with the direction. So it's like, It's a win-win-win. It's a win-win-win-win because it's a fatal four-way.
Yeah.
Dude, tweet time. We got Green Power Ranger Penta. We got Green Power Ranger Penta.
See, I didn't even catch that till somebody pointed it out on Twitter and stuff. I was like, yo, I like the concept. I was like, Penta's always dope. Penta's Penta.
Yeah. My favorite Penta, of course, is Demon Penta, Red Penta, but my favorite Power Ranger is Green Power Ranger, motherfucker. So this is what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to hit that walk. Hit that walk on that long ramp.
And to hear the whole crowd say, Cero Miedo, that was a big Cero Miedo.
The crowd was hot when Penta hit that. I was like, oh, they know what's going on.
I may have been rooting for Penta a little more than I realized once I saw him come out for his first WrestleMania, but nonetheless, I keep my predictions set in stone. Dirty Dom comes out with a Mysterio mask saying he's the best Mysterio of all time. Finn Balor also comes out with a mask of sorts, and I was like, oh shit, is Braun Breaker going to come out with a mask too? He didn't. He did not.
I don't know. Finn Balor's just been... I compare him to... This is a terrible comparison. Kanye West.
Oh no, that's awful.
No. He got a point. Let him cook, because Finn Balor be coming out with like some weird ass masks and stuff. It's like, bro, what is he cooking? What's he doing?
Yeah,
he came out with the yellow gloves. Like, bro, what you gonna do? You gonna scrub clean and whooping ass and scrub clean? What you doing?
He came out with Dexter's mom's gloves.
No kitchen gloves. No, what? No, you know what's funny? You know what's funny about that? Dom's entrance, he was struggling to take off the mask.
Yeah. Couldn't get it off. On the Finn Balor thing, I get the reference as far as fashion, and maybe he's a Yeezus fan. I don't know, but
I don't
it's not for the reasons you might think.
It's questionable.
Yeah. Now,
it's just like Kanye had those masks that go over his face, that cover his entire face. Balor's
I got the reference. Let's not turn it into a podcast.
No, please, no.
Dear Lord. Now, I asked myself, Braun Breaker, is he going to come out in mask too? He didn't. But much like Gunther, he came out just looking like a champion who means business.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, a little bit of a long note. Again, I'm going to be just diving through a little bit of the match before we start breaking it down. But the match starts out hot and heavy out the gate and a lot of great action, especially some of the spots we see from Braun Breaker and Penta right away. I noticed a lot more in this WrestleMania Sunday as opposed to the Saturday side of things. That Saturday had a lot more slow-paced wrestling, and Sunday was faster and harder feeling, at least like up to this point. And back to the match, we keep seeing Balor and Dirty Dom team up together in the match, but not much goes on when they do. And either Braun or Penta would best them each time, which played into the whole theory that they were breaking up here. And I don't know. So this is where I bring in the question. Do we see a turn? I put Dom turns on Finn here. He turns on him, but there's still kind of the Judgment Day, no? Like, it didn't feel like a turn.
Not yet, but it's gonna happen though, because Finn wants the IC title, and then like Dom is being like kind of being on the sideline and stuff, and then that's when kind of like Liv gets upset about that, like Dom's not getting the opportunities and stuff, because he's been like doing stuff that's like, okay, he earns this, but Finn comes in like he wants that too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like really like the enviness within the group a little bit.
But this bitch is getting on my nerve.
Yeah, Finn's got that. Finn's got his own ego, so you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude. Dom tries to 619 him. Finn stops it, stomps him down. Penta hits a Penta driver. And I thought that would be it, but Braun Breaker breaks it up. I almost got tongue-tied on that. Braun Breaker breaks it up. We get another bout of hot action, and amidst it, we see Carlito start to get involved, and it prevents Penta from winning a couple times. Yeah, I'm getting to this spot. Carlito clears off the announce table.
That spot. Oh my god.
He clears off the announce table to maybe put Penta through it, and it just dawned on me at that point that the Spanish announce table and regular announce table, English announce table, are switched now. So Braun Breaker climbs the Spanish one, flies off to spear Carlito through the regular one, and the announce team went crazy. They all went.
Braun Breaker is so scary. Like when he's fat, when he goes fast and stuff, especially like the spot where he did that flying shoulder tackle on Penta.
Yes.
Oh, dog, I got so shook by that. Like he was like really like so high, it felt like a cannonball.
It's fine. Carlito, poor Carlito, man.
And that's why when we were talking about who wins this match, which we'll get into in 1 second, but that's why we said, Braun Breaker is just as liable to retain with how dominant he is. Don't be surprised if he just dominates and retains. But getting into the finish here, Braun spears Penta, Dirty Dom 619's Braun. Balor goes off on Dom and Braun Breaker, hits the coup de grace. I actually believed in that moment it might be his time again.
Let's go.
Dominic Mysterio, in an ode to Eddie Guerrero, hits the frog splash on Finn while he's pinning Breaker, and he pins Finn Balor to win the Intercontinental title. Another W in our prediction column.
That's exactly why they're going to break up. Because he pinned Finn, Finn's ego is going to kill that.
Oh, yeah.
The writing was on the wall. This just solidified it.
Yeah, so that breakup is coming. Oh, that Judgment Day breakup is coming.
Hey, Latino heat, baby. Hold on. Give me a second. You know what I'm doing.
The Latino, hey, look. Dom's Latino heat, Dom's IC Latino heat run is going to go crazy.
I sent a tweet out. I said, Eddie up there in heaven proudly smiling down on Dominic Mysterio. I know he is, because this whole Latino heat thing, he's doing it so well. We're so lucky.
The fact that he finally won a singles belt at WrestleMania.
Amen. And hey, on top of that, I got to tell Dylan something, but on top of that, real quick, how about the fact that a year ago, the crowd would not in any way be cheering for him, and the crowd was actually behind him? That was real.
Yeah, that's surprising. That is so surprising. They were cheering for
Dylan.
Dom.
I said I wasn't going to put this belt in this episode, and look, we did it anyway. I don't know how we got here.
It happens every time, man.
It's bigger than me. This is like as big as my chest, bro.
Bro, that belt is so big.
I got to strap it all the way across my body. Do we agree? Do we all agree this was a great decision to move the title in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it'll continue the Judgment Day storyline.
And I think Braun is now ready to go main event, maybe soon.
He's in the world heavyweight picture.
Oh yeah, he got to be. He got to be like he's up there now with having me on the world title picture.
And that's how the Intercontinental title always used to be. It used to be like an actual TV mid-card title that elevated you to be a world champion contender, and it's doing that again. Gunther, Braun Breaker. Well, I don't know what happened with Sami Zayn. We still need Sami Zayn to be in that picture, and why he's not. First of all, he didn't even get to make WrestleMania, so I don't know what we're talking about him.
Yeah.
Poor Sami, man.
Poor Sami and Kevin.
Oh, man. Oh, man. And, hey, perfect segue, because we're about to get into this Orton versus mystery opponent. And ahead of time, I said, before this match started, I said, okay, if it's Rusev, Nick Aldis, or Aleister Black, we're adding another W into our correct column. But we kind of debunked earlier that the Aleister Black thing wasn't going to be for like another week. So the first two, it was either the first two or bust. Get into it. I'm not trying not to spoil it right away. 110 decibels on Orton's entrance. That was pretty cool. Just a side note.
Okay.
Randy gets on the mic, gets hyped to find out who his 20th WrestleMania match opponent will be. And it's the man we should not have forgotten was a possibility. Joe Hendry. Great choice.
My God. I can't believe that. Really can't believe that that happened. With Joe Hendry coming out with the TNA World Championship belt. This is TNA's world champion.
We teased it so much. We were like, Drew McIntyre and Joe Hendry could be a thing, right? John Cena and Joe Hendry was a thing. We're like, let's get John Cena his 17th world title with the TNA title. Blockbuster.
Right?
It's funny because my brother was sitting there and like he heard the music and he rolled his eyes. He does not like Joe Hendry.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I was like, oh my God.
No, it's just the way it was presented. Because like when the doors open and stuff, and then the music started playing and the Titantron played too.
Yeah. Not even in the notes, but here's what made it so perfect was the distractions. We had so many people that we knew were coming in that we didn't know if could be in the slot or not. And Joe Hendry was always an option, but we kind of just put it in the back of our mind like, yeah, sure. And so that's why I was like, did not see it coming, not surprised. The match didn't even feel real to me. Honestly, and I'll ask you guys about it in a second, but I was expecting a little bit more, and I guess like that's really how WWE views the TNA World Champion, just as Viper bait. I don't know, but how did we feel about Hendry versus Orton?
Okay, so it's short, even though it's short. Yeah, like entertaining wise, the match was really good, but when it comes to wrestling wise, no. But there's some good spots though. I'll say that. I'll say that and stuff. And I'll also one more thing. I don't think y'all caught this, but if Orton's gear, so his colors that he wore since like it was 20 years of like wrestling for the WWE, that it was his colors from back in the day when he first came in.
Oh, I did not.
Like when he came. I
noticed the colors and I liked them, but I didn't realize that was the significance.
Yeah, it was like when he came in 2002, he came in with those like actual colors.
Oh, you didn't know?
I think with the match, I understood the assignment. I knew Joe Hendry was never going to get more than a few minutes in. It was all about the moment, and honestly, props to Joe Hendry. He got himself so over that another company decided to put him in front of 61,000 people on the biggest stage of the year and face one of their all-time top stars. That is a big moment, whether the match was 3 minutes or whether it would have been 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the top star we wanted. Again, Joe Hendry, John Cena is like the big dream match, and maybe we might get that, one day. I don't know. But afterwards, Orton helps Hendry up and raises his arm, and then RKOs him again. I think we all knew that one was coming. We all saw it coming.
Yeah, it was funny. It was really hilarious. Like before that one, it was just that like when Joe Hendry did like the pose and stuff, and then turn like look at the camera and stuff, and the camera
like
zoomed
Stone
in.
Cold Stunner level. You know the stunner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so like that spot is just so hilarious. And having Orton do it too.
Orton doing it, oh man, that popped.
I laughed so hard.
On this next one, we had specific predictions for this match. I myself, I was on a rant about it because I was like, yeah, I know everything that's going on. You guys can't tell me different. We predict, Lyra took out Bayley to sub in Becky, not Becca.
Becca.
That's how we did it.
You just made the list.
Botch.
I mean, but hey, Lyra, Becky, they could make a Becca team. There's something there. First off, let's get into my thing here before we get into whether we're right or not. Lyra looked like an angel, an absolute angel. Literally, I sent out a tweet. Lyra is literally an angel.
Yeah.
It's like with the bird with the wings, like
Everything she does is perfection.
Drink it in, man.
All right, send out the tweet. Spoiler alert: we all knew it was Becky, and we all suspect it was Lyra that took out Bailey to make it happen. So,
are they really going with this like with Jade? What they did with Jade? Are they really gonna do that?
Here's the thing. I'm not completely.
So
I think there's a small possibility that Becky took out Bailey to get herself an easy in for a match and a title shot.
fickle. They're fickle.
Easy.
mm-hmm.
She's done it before. Think about it. She's done it before.
Okay. Let's get into our tag team match. This is the first match in the card tonight that had a slower pace, and there's not a ton I can say about it from early on other than, it was great to not only see Lyra Valkyria have this match on a big stage, as just being a fan of hers, but it was great to see the man come around to Las Vegas and do the damn thing. I mean, she didn't lose a step. I almost thought Liv was going to win it after she hit Becky with the Oblivion, but no. Lyra breaks it up. Becky Lynch hits the manhandle slam and gets the pinfall, which didn't see that part coming, but Lyra 2 belts, baby. I love it. Send the tweet. I asked for it. I got it. They even acknowledged it. They called her Lyra 2 belts, so you got to love that.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Yes.
Yeah, the fact that Lyra actually come in WrestleMania as a women's Intercontinental Champion, winning a tag belt, and that's a big moment for her.
Where were you when Lyra 2 belts happened?
I was on my couch watching. The thing that I just realized, I just put together, and it's a little. We've gotten this far without controversy, and I hate to bring it up, but obviously Bailey got taken out in kayfabe. In actuality, they had it planned for a while to pull her.
How about that tweet?
Yeah, that Mercedes tweet.
That's what I was about to bring up.
Oh,
on the screen. Put it up on the screen.
You just think about how they were building at one point Bailey-Roxanne feud that could have culminated at WrestleMania. I know there were reports that of the people in the back, Bailey and Becky both get to choose their opponents and things like that. So what if Becky came and was like, no, I want to put Lyra over. You're not putting Roxanne over.
Huh. Okay, now hear me out. Just hear me out one time. Bailey W.
Ding dong. Hello.
Bailey
That's
W.
fair.
Let's run it.
Hold up now. Hold up now.
All right. I'm going to throw the side note tweet out because we got to have a couple side note tweets every now and again, right? This is something I got to bitch about every year. Absolutely stop combining the attendance totals and selling it like 120,000 people showed up. They're almost the same people both days, so stop it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Same people don't count. It don't count.
It drives me mad.
Damn.
Like, yeah, 60,000 of those 62,000 were here.
Yeah, when Stone Cold Steve Austin came out with like the ATV and stuff, and crashed it. And the fact that Nick Khan came out too.
Yeah,
he came out too. Oh my god, come on!
Gotta make sure you're not getting sued tonight.
Yeah, I was like,
I got a tweet from somebody here, Derek J Speaks. Shout out to Derek J Speaks. He said, after all these years, I'm honestly shocked tonight was the first time Stone Cold finally crashed his four-wheeler into one of those barricades. Almost gave that woman in the front row a damn heart attack.
Lord, yeah.
He checked on her like twice or three times.
Yeah, I think she checked on her and stuff. I was like, hope she's good. Hope she's good.
Tickets for life. Free tickets for life.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys a quick side story before we get into our main event. There was one time I remember watching it live on TV and noticing it, and people started talking about it on the internet like a week after. No one noticed it. There was a time where Brock Lesnar, during a segment, ripped a car door off and threw it, and he actually hit somebody in the crowd with a car door, and that fan was going to sue, and WWE went all out on trying to not like have this lawsuit come up, so they gave him like a mountain of free privileges for life. This guy's set up for life because he got hit by a car door by Lesnar.
Oh, that was like, damn, that was like that was back in 2015.
Yes, sir, it was. You were there. Damn.
Oh, that was really back in 2015. That was during the Seth Rollins feud.
Mike, this is why I hired you, man. I'm proud of you. Proud of you. I love that. The J&J security thing was my shit.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie Noble's my guy.
Oh my God, Joey Mercury and freaking Jamie Noble, jeez.
Yeah, underrated. Anyway, we got to get into current times, and this is the big deal. This is the big kahuna.
Man, let's do it. Let's do this.
Thing I want to bring up here is another missed opportunity. Just like we missed an opportunity with the Viking Raiders doing a Las Vegas Raiders themed entrance or attire. What we missed here was, first of all, question. Who has listened to the 2005 John Cena album, or am I the only one?
Dude, we talk about it in my car. Like
Yes.
when we're driving, we're leaving out of the MLW show. Dude, I'll bump that album like most of like every day. Like that clearly pops in the whip.
That album is what made me pursue music as a child. So here's my missed opportunity thing. They definitely, last WrestleMania for John Cena, missed an opportunity to use the song All Ended Tomorrow as a video package.
I love that track so much. Track number 17, that's my favorite song on that damn album.
They should have pretty much packaged that song. This is all ending.
But they use it. But here's the thing: they use that song during like the John Cena versus Triple H WrestleMania feud back in like 2006.
I remember.
Yeah,
literally, the team logo was after that WrestleMania.
Yeah, of course. Yes. I was like, I know every word of that song.
I'm going to argue he should have came out to no music.
Oh, wow.
Oh God! In fact, he said. Cena really said, y'all, we really ain't gonna get nothing.
Well, this is what he said. This is what blows my mind about this whole thing is John Cena called all these kids dumbasses for believing in him still when they don't mean shit to him. And he was right because like dumbasses, they kept on believing in him.
Yeah, they still kept on believing after the whole thing, after what he said. Y'all still doing it.
Yeah. I was so shocked.
What we were just touching on that we're about to get more into is like the last WrestleMania entrance of John Cena. It wasn't as grand as I expected, but I guess because like part of the character now isn't that it doesn't need to be grand. He's just fucking John Cena. That's what the big black screen just says John Cena.
Yeah. It's just his name. His name just like on the Titantron and stuff.
Yeah.
And just the music. It's just like no new music, no special Titantron. It's just him coming out.
Yeah, again, should have just came out to no music.
It should have came out of no music. You should have done that.
But still like, do the whole entrance. Do the whole entrance, no music.
Like you get nothing. It's just like with Ciampa. Like with Ciampa used to come out with no music in NXT.
Yeah.
But that was a cold Ciampa at that time. Ciampa. I hate when I say Ciampa and it's Ciampa. And it's
Ciampa. He has no beard.
Dude, yeah, you missed that part.
He fell on. Yeah, he fell on before that ended up like him had to shave the whole beard off.
See, it's a thing we were doing. You missed this part, but to start the show off, or at least this half, I put the Ciampa beard on in memory of his beard.
Oh yeah.
All right, off Ciampa, on Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' entrance, however, was grand as hell. It had fucking dirt bikes and superhero masks and all kinds of shit in it.
He
and
was
coming
Iron
out
Man.
like Iron Man.
Yeah.
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I want one.
Like motocross and Iron Man. That's like the most weirdest like
Yeah.
mixture.
It was fun.
I was like, where's the synergy here? I didn't even get the importance or the relevance.
Yeah, I was
of
like, is it Ghost Rider themed? Is it Evil Knievel? I felt like maybe there was an Evil Knievel
It
thing going
might
on there.
some like an evil. Yeah, it was like even Evil Knievel, Ghost Rider or something.
Yeah, that's what I
Iron
was saying,
Man
but
mix.
not a Ghost Rider enough.
Yeah, is it? No, I don't see enough flames.
What was cool about this was that even with how split the predictions amongst fans were, we could all agree that no matter the outcome here, no matter the outcome of this match, it was going to be a big deal. And I think that made the big fight feel an even bigger fight feel. The bell rang, I got chills. Like it dawned on me in that moment. This is John Cena's last WrestleMania match. Just drink it in. Drink it in a little bit.
Drink it in, man.
The last WrestleMania match. Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah, that's it really is. It's like, dog, we're about to see this, and after this, it's no more.
Yep.
Last time is now.
So that's after this, you can't see him.
Oh, no. Oh, now, early part of this match, we see Cody wrestling down John Cena over and over, and John Cena getting visibly frustrated, turning into to what he does best. He turns it into a brawl down, and then I think Michael Cole said it best. We see John Cena essentially turn the clock back 10 years the way he just starts to put a match together. And it takes two to tango, of course, but Cena, you watch Cena in this match, you wait for him to slow down. He never does. And it's been a while since we've seen that John Cena. He hits Cody Rhodes with every variation of the FUAASTFLMNOPSs he can pull out of his bag of tricks.
Yeah,
It's not enough.
like it's definitely not enough. I'm like he's like Cena was pulling off like stuff that's like rare. It's like really rare. That's like you never even see him like this. Not like 2015 Cena. This stuff. So he was pulling off DDT. He was pulling off freaking Big Boot.
I love that he was slowing down especially when he was doing the five knuckle shuffle. He slowed it down methodically and like showed this expression and everything. I was like, that
anticlimactic.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it definitely was.
A little anticlimactic, Cena. You're gonna watch me beat him in slow motion.
Right.
Let's get into a fun part of this match. We get an official knocked out, which I had to see coming. Cody hits a crossroads. We all start looking around like who's coming. And meanwhile, Cena exposes a turnbuckle in the corner, bashes Cody's head into it a bunch, hits Cody with what would be the fourth or I thought fifth AA, and covers Cody. Cody kicks out. Then Travis Scott comes out looking like CJ from GTA San Andreas. I sent a tweet out as well. Look just like him, bro. CJ
oh my
right there.
God. Jesus.
There's Travis. Cena asked Travis to hit Cody, but Cody counters to a crossroads, covers, and CJ yanks out the referee. Then Cody Rhodes challenges CJ to come fight him mano a mano. This culminates to a crossroads.
That's just like, come on, Travis, what are you doing?
CJ, bro. That's CJ. Now he gets hit with the crossroads, which gives Cena that amount of time to grab the belt and hit Cody with it. Cody stops it though at first, contemplates hitting Cena, and he definitely should have. I feel like he's not that great of a guy. He's not too good for it. We've seen him do some shit like that before, but he says he can't do it. Cena kicks him in the nuts, hits him with the belt, yells at the ref to get up, covers Cody, pins him, and makes history, winning a 17th world title. And I have so many mixed feelings about this. So many.
Man, it's really just like it's the way it was presented. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because like it's really just like, okay, it could have been something else besides like Travis Scott coming out. Like we thought like The Rock was gonna show up. We thought The Rock was gonna show up at WrestleMania. But we didn't get that.
I was fine with it. I don't know if it was just because everything leading up to this point, the whole night, everything felt like it was going according to plan. Everything was flowing right. The matches were going at a good enough pace. And I was like, you know what? anything more would have taken too much time, and I don't know if I would have been here for that. So I'm fine with it. The only thing I'm not fine with, Wade Barrett. This man literally ruined your career. Why did you not stop his ass?
Ruthless aggression.
That's hilarious.
God.
Great point. Didn't even consider that. Great point.
Yeah, I was like,
3
bro,
times during the match, I was like, he ruined your career.
he should call you mediocrity. Like, what the?
Oh my goodness. Now, sorry, I have my video off for a second. Dealing with Mako problems. Mascot Mako. Mako Mania was not in full effect in the right way here.
Yeah.
Run wild.
Here's a tweet I sent out that's gonna help me with my mixed feelings. It's cool that Cena broke the record for real and history was made, but damn it, he's not a digestible bad guy to me. I've yet to feel right about it. I just think it's hilarious. Still, at the end of this, I say, fuck it. I'll take it and see where this goes, because that's my main thing out of it is, like, again, history was going to get made no matter what. Cody or John Cena winning, either way, history gets made. Not as somebody who's not really giving a fuck about Ric Flair based off of just personal ability, but I'm like, yeah, this is kind of cool. Likewise, where do we go from here? And that's what gets me.
That's the thing and stuff. It's like he said what he's gonna say is like he's gonna take the WWE Championship and y'all not gonna see it ever again.
Yeah,
but
sure.
yeah, it's like calling himself the last real champion.
Bring the spinner belt back.
Right,
No,
back for the one time.
What's up?
Hold on.
Looks like we've had enough talk.
Walk with me here. Okay, so what if John Cena gets a whole entourage together? He gets like someone to be like his bodyguard, and then like a couple other guys, maybe one who's like has like a caveman beard or something. I don't know. And then he puts the title in a briefcase and locks it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that sounds like a great storyline. Actually, I feel like that's something I could get into.
Sound like something we've seen before. I couldn't put my finger on it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It wouldn't be the first time we brought up Mox during WrestleMania. Crazy enough.
Yeah.
It's like we said Mox's name in WrestleMania more than we thought. That's crazy. Now,
hear me out. Like, what if since now, like, John Cena is 17-time champion, what if he, guys, it's personal for me because, like, I'm gonna see John Cena at Fan Expo Dallas in May. What if he brings that belt? What if he brings that belt to the con?
You're gonna fight him for it. You're gonna bring it back.
Fight him for it. Bring it.
You're gonna bring it home back to us.
Right? I'm gonna bring it home to the camp.
All right. Okay. Now, once more, I'm going to get into my pay-per-view thoughts, my final pay-per-view thoughts, because I really got to close this episode now. The final pay-per-view thoughts, after that roller coaster ride, it's hard to sit down and write those, but there's so many mixed feelings about the ending of it. Overall aspect and big picture, I was happy with this Mania. It delivered and catered to all facets of the audience in a way, and honestly was one of my favorites for the reason I touched on in the first half of this episode. Much like WrestleMania 26, subtle in its delivery, but delivered big moments and good matches, and I'm excited to see what happens next with all that's going on. So, rating, 4.5 stars, and the only thing that stopped it from going to 5 was the messiness of El Grande Americano and the World Tag Team titles being on the card instead of the TLC match with no Big E return to make up for it. You guys, final thoughts. Dylan, you can go first.
Okay, so solid all the way round through, 4.5. I think 4.5 is good enough for me. I think I'm really excited to see. I'm interested to see where the Becky Lyra thing goes, considering they have to defend now against Tatum and Gigi, and we know Tatum's history with Lyra.
Oh yeah,
that's why I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, forgot about
that match.
Tatum's gonna have to choose here.
Ooh.
Or, I mean, Lyra's going to have to choose here. And I have a feeling if she doesn't choose Becky, that's when heel Becky's going to show up. And then we figure out that she took out Bayley. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Fair.
easy to say her. I
Okay.
took her out so we could have this moment together, and you don't care, something like that. But other than that, yeah, solid. Really weird. No Miz besides like a commercial.
Huh, didn't even notice.
Where Miz, I mean, I'm not like a huge fan of the Miz. I respect him.
I was
But, you know,
got so distracted by the fact that I saw Vikingo, I didn't even notice.
Night 2, I felt like Night 2 was a little bit better than Night 1 because, like, Josh, like you said, it's like it was fast paced. I love the Fatal 4-Way match. Fatal 4-Way was really definitely, I think it was like the best through that night.
Drink it in, man.
Because the Fatal 4-Way was just like, it was just went off the rails with Braun Breaker, Penta, and stuff. I like it. I have mixed feelings about how the ending was presented in the main event. And yeah, like I will give the rating for this whole WrestleMania.
Whole thing.
I got to give it a 3.5.
That's fair.
I got to give 3.5. I mean, it was entertaining, but there were just some spots that's just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. But overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it and stuff. I mean, the best, for me, personally, the best part of freaking WrestleMania was the, like, entertaining-wise, Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry. That was really, like...
Did not see that coming as the best
Yes. I said it, because the freaking arc, because it was just, like, it was really that short, but it was entertaining.
Okay. I'll allow it. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's all fair. It's all subjective.
Yeah.
Now, to close out this WrestleMania episode, I have just a couple short things. One, to touch on what Mike said, I loved this WrestleMania myself, but like that's just because it was more basic and I needed it to be. So, on top of that, one thing I forgot to do that I'm so glad I remembered before we ended is I said, I would show at the end of the WrestleMania episode the John Cena and Cody Rhodes signed pictures together. This was our main event.
Oh, wow.
It's funny that these are like the pictures we hang in the studio, and this is how we got to WrestleMania. It's always just kind of a full circle thing. I was like, let's show them on the show.
Long-term booking.
Then secondly,
storytelling,
long-term storytelling.
Second off, and this is the great one. I don't know, we never know what we're going to do a year from now, but one thing I would love and I think would be cool, bucket list. I've never been to WrestleMania my whole life, and I've been watching wrestling for my whole life. And so with it being in New Orleans next year, me, Jeff, we talked about, hey, maybe we should bring wrestling in the middle into New Orleans next year for the road to WrestleMania season. What's everyone's thoughts on it?
Oh, man.
Buckle up, Teddy.
We'll see where I'm at. I'll probably still be in classes, so it'll be a little difficult.
Nah.
Yeah, it depends on my working schedule. So yeah, I've been to New Orleans before for WrestleMania.
That's what I was going to say.
So yeah, so next year is decisive.
We will see. Just had to bring it up real quick. I'm taking a sigh of relief before we end this. WrestleMania's come and gone. We made it through Road to WrestleMania Season 4. Blow some more confetti up. I feel fantastic.
Yeah, we
definitely just get this
made it
out.
Oh God.
We just go out with the video of Io Sky and the blimp.
Yes. Oh yes. We still have to do the finale before then, but yes. Absolutely.